Today is the first discussion of daily current affairs under the head Paripurna. So let's not waste our time and let's jump to the first article of 13th October, which is the oral history project of PMML. We'll understand it very in simple words and very simple way. Let's understand, decode the keywords, because before understanding, our approach will be, before going into the content part, we will try to decipher the meaning of the article with its keyword. Because what happens in the UPSC exam when we write prelims or the mains, many times we won't be able to familiar with that particular terminology or the concept. Sometimes we have to guess by deciphering the word, by using some logic. So we will be learning that also during this discussions. So let's try to understand the oral history means what. See, you know what is meaning of the oral, right? Something which is spoken. History, as you know. So can we decipher it as the history which is spoken, right? It is means what? Spoken. History, something which is spoken, right? So it will be related to that. Second, it's a project of PMML. That means we need to know what is this organization. PMML stands for Prime Minister Museum and Library. That is, it's a Prime Minister Museum and Library which is situated in New Delhi, right? Basically what this organization do is that they keep the repository means they keep the different document, different historical records under their so that those things can be preserved, so that we can understand the history in better way. So crux is this only, that is, there is one organization which is the Delhi based, which conserve the historical record which is in the oral form, which is in the spoken form. Now how they do that, we can understand from here is that they, as of today, around 1372 interviews with the individual who have been first hand witness to the Indian history. That means especially during the modern history, this you have to remember, during modern history, those people who have witnessed those incidents, national movements and different historical activities which they have witnessed, we have taken interviews from them and we kept them as repository, so that in future and today we can learn from their experiences. That is the thing. Now it will include the different things like it can be the economic policy, it can be the foreign relation, whatever, or the social reform. These things are common sense you have to use and understand that this can be included. But what is important here is that which organization. Second is that what they do. You don't have to remember this data, okay? Don't try to recall this, that is not important. And let's understand about the oral history project of PMML. As I explained it, the historical is that it was started in 1966. Earlier its name was Nehru Memorial Museum and Library. Now we have changed its name as Prime Minister's Museum and Library. Next subjects covered, as I already told, it has covered like the partition of Bengal, Satyagraha. These are all things we know from the history, right? Next, what is this organization, Prime Minister Museum and Library? It is established in 1966 and registered as society. As you see here, it is registered as a society under Societies Registration Act 1860. This is the act, umbrella act, under which if you want to establish any NGO in the form of society, you have to register under this particular act. These things are similar only. The similar thing like the what kind of documents they conserve, you can read it, not that important. What is the fundamental thing which can be asked in the prelims, we have already covered. Next is Prime Minister Dhan, Dhaanya, Krishi Yojana. Before explaining this, first is that why it is in the news, because Prime Minister Dhan, Krishi Yojana has been launched at the special event by Honorable Prime Minister. Before understanding about this scheme, let's understand another scheme based on which this scheme is formulated. That is aspirational district program. what this scheme is. See, this scheme is, if you will observe the overall country, right, overall if you will observe the whole country, we'll find that there are some districts across the India which are more backward in terms of economic development, social development, or other aspects. So what government did, basically it was the initiative of Niti Aayog. What they did is that they identified certain parameters. Based on that, they identified around 100 districts, most backward district, based on those parameters. And there, what government focus was to converge the different schemes which are already present in the district. For example, there is PM Kisan Yojana, there is Jal Jeevan Mission, Swachh Bharat Mission. So different schemes which are already existing under this scheme, that is aspirational district program, the idea was to conserve them and take the district towards the development under certain KPIs. KPI means key performance indicator. So this was the program, you understood. Basically we identified the most backward district, and then we were converging the different schemes together so that we can have a better impact and we can take these backward districts in the developmental parameters towards the upward side, right? So that was the scheme. In the same line, this Pradhan Mantri Dhan Dhaanya Krishi Yojana is launched. From the term you can clearly understand, here it is related to the agriculture. Hence this ministry is this scheme is under Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. Now they can change it by saying that it is under the Ministry of Animal Husbandry or some other, but you have to remember this is under the Ministry of Agriculture. In the option they can also keep Niti Aayog, since it is similar to aspirational district program, so we might confuse here that it might be the scheme of Niti Aayog, but no, it is under the Ministry of Agriculture, and they have given 24,000 crore. That is not important. What this scheme, see here, it's success of aspirational district program. Similarly we have formulated it. What is the objective? Transform the agriculture in 100 identified district with relatively low productivity and weaker agriculture infrastructure. Similar like aspirational district program, here also we are identifying 100 districts, but the parameter will be related to what? Agriculture. Because what we want to develop agriculture sector. Understood? Next point, enhance. Definitely, now if I'll ask you what is the objective, key objective will definitely to increase the income of the farmer, right? For the diversification of agriculture, technological integration, these things will be the objective. What are the other important points related to this? Ensure localized planning. Localized planning means in that particular district, in that whatever district it is, the planning will be centered in that district. It is not like the plan has been made at the central level in Delhi or the state level and then being imposed on the district. Now planning will be done at the district level. So this is promoting what? Decentralized what? Planning. Then a district specific, you understood, right? This will help as per the requirement of that particular district. What is the soil condition, climatic condition, based on that the planning will be made. Definitely it can help in ensuring in better productivity. Now this will include animal husbandry, fisheries and allied sectors like the poultry and other thing also will be included. This can help in the boosting export. So the orientation will also be towards the production of such kind of crop which can increase our export. What is the feature? See, first of all, 100 district will be selected. There are 3 key parameters. This is very important for the prelims point of view. Question may be asked like, which among the following parameters has been included to decide the 100 district under the Pradhan Mantri Krishi, Dhan, Dhaanya, Krishi, Yojana. So the three parameter, remember, productivity is the first parameter, second crop intensity, and third availability of institutional loan. Here this point may be confusing if the option has been given. Low productivity and cropping intensity is understandable. Low productivity means what? Same land, how much productivity it is giving, how much production it is happening. For example, there are two land here, same area, 1 acre land here, 1 acre land here 5, let's say 25 quintal paddy is being produced, here 30 quintal paddy is being produced. So which have the more productivity? B. That is, if it is A, it is B have the more productivity. Now next is the, what is the cropping intensity? Means in the same 1 acre of land, how many crops you are taking in 1 year or at particular time. Suppose here you have no irrigation is available. That means you can take only one crop during the monsoon. Suppose one farmer, same 1 acre land having the some irrigation system, they are taking 3 crop. So the cropping system will be cropping intensity will be 300%. Here how much? 100%. So the cropping intensity will also be one of the factor. Simple, it is like the how many crops you are cultivating on the same land in a given time. Institutional loan, that is a loan from the banks. So these three parameters please remember in this particular concept. Now other thing is that main thing will be the integration of 36 different government schemes. Like we were doing in aspirational district program, here also there will be the integration of different scheme. For example, this per drop, more crop, this kind of scheme will be included. Other points are easy to understand, that will be having the flexibility considering the agroclimatic condition of that particular district. Special emphasis is given on allied sector. What are allied sector? Like animal husbandry, fisheries, beekeeping and other such allied activities. So this was about the Pradhan Mantri Dhan Dhanya Yojana. Important points you have to remember, that is, it is based on the aspirational district program. Second, 3 important parameters are considered to choose those 100 districts. Here convergence of different agriculture related schemes will be done in order to develop the agriculture sector in that particular district. Next scheme is next article is T-cell and regulatory T-cell. See, this is news recently because of the Nobel Prize given to the for the discovery and the discovery of adaptive, or the, what is the term here, peripheral immune tolerance. We'll understand this particular concept from the very basic level. We'll go back to our school level and try to understand what this concept T-cell is. But from the term, what we can understand here is that it is definitely related to the biology. T cells, if you have gone through those corona time, this T cell was we heard a lot about this T cell. It was definitely during if you remember, during corona time we were getting our immunity was under the check, that is we had the low immunity. So T cell and the plasma therapy, these all things were in the news, like the right. So it is related to one thing you need to remember, it is related to immunity. Sometimes UPSC asks very simple question, T cell is related to which among the following? They can give the different options like that. It is related to immunity, it is related to cell division, it is related to some disease, like that they can give option also. So first thing is that whether you understand deeply or not, remember T cell is related to the immunity of our body. Now what is immunity? You know that if our body is there, it protection from the external pathogen, external any kind of molecule which is entering our body, which is interfering, which is alien to our body. So our body have the ability to defend, resist it, kill that particular molecule which is entering our body, right? So this is called as the immunity system, our body's ability to fight the diseases or any kind of foreign element which is coming to our body. So that is immunity, and T cell is related to immunity. Now let's discuss the what this T cell is in little detail. First of all, it is a type of white blood cell. As you must be knowing, blood have the different component like the RBC, red blood cell, you have the white blood cell, you have the platelets, right? These are the components of our blood. So this T cell is nothing but a kind of white blood cell. It plays important role in our immunity system, as we already discussed. Now second thing we have to discuss is that where it originates from stem cell in bone marrow and thymus. See, first of all, let's understand what is this stem cell. See, our cells, our body is made of many cells, right? That much you must be knowing. Cells and then tissues, many cells together make the tissues. Now all of our body cells does not have ability to give rise to another cell. While if you talk about in the plants what happens, that their cells have one feature which is called as the totipotency, that we don't have to go very deep, but they have the ability to divide and create new cells. However, in animals, such ability is limited to only certain cells, which are known as stem cell. That means stem cell will be having ability to create more cell, and these cells can create new tissue, and this tissue together can create more organ. So that is the remarkable ability of stem cell to create new cell and new tissue and thus new organ. These stem cells are found in the bone marrow and mature in the thymus. So they originate in the bone marrow and mature in thymus gland. What is this thymus gland? Let me show you what is thymus gland. See here, you know this part, this is our in this part here you have this thymus gland. This is made of these things, that is not at all important, just you need to know that okay where it is found. So thymus gland is found here. Next, how it looks, this T cell, you see here, this is the T cell receptor, this is T cell, this is B cell. This is the T cell. Here you see the receptor which receive the foreign element, any foreign element which is coming, and then they can defend it. Okay, now you understood what is T cell. It is nothing but a kind of a white blood cell. It originates from stem cell which is found in the bone marrow and mature in the thymus. This much detailing is not required, but still just for our understanding purpose. Okay, these are important for the immune system that we have already understood. Here, which is very important, see this 3 diagram, which it will help you to understand 3 important words, that is helper T cell, cytotoxic T cell and regulatory T cell. This regulatory T cell is in the news because of the recent discovery which is awarded as the Nobel Prize is revolving around this regulatory T cell. Now what it is, we'll understand. Before that, let's understand that how this T cell works. See, as I told you, T cell is nothing but it is a cell which have the receptors. Now if any foreign element is coming, this will kill this particular thing or prevent this to infect our body, right? This will attack this particular any foreign molecule or any disease, pathogen, anything, right? Now when this particular T cell is going to attack this or kill it, that regulation, now this, you see the go, now this helper T cell tells the other T cell, now this particular element is coming inside our body, go and kill it. So basically helper T cell helps to identify which particular foreign element has to be killed. It stimulates the B cell and other kind of cell, T cell, to become active. Now something is coming, let's be active. So this is the helper T cell. Cytotoxic T cell, from this word toxic, you can understand it can be toxic to what? Toxic to foreign element. Now this helper T cell have activated it. Now the cytotoxic T cell will kill those targets. So this is the killer. This is the killer. This is the basically controller. This is the killer. Then what is this regulatory T cell? See, sometimes what can happen, you know, that this cytotoxic cell, this cytotoxic T cell can be generated in so many numbers. So sometimes what happens, this T cell, cytotoxic T cell, starts killing the good cells also. Our body cells also it will start killing. So it is like the auto killing, it's killing itself, right? So regulatory T cell suppress the immunity response. This will regulate, okay, this much is only enough, don't multiply so many, don't kill this thing. So basically they will control the activity of T cell, and that is called as the regulatory T cell. Okay, so you understood these all thing here. What are the regulatory T cell? I think you must have understood. Once again, let me clear it. It is nothing but when the condition is such that T cell is started killing itself, then regulatory T cell come in the picture, and they actually prevent the T cell to kill itself, its own organ, its own tissues, and its own cells. Okay, so here you can understand are the specialized subpopulation of T cell that act to suppress the immune response. Okay, so that it can prevent any kind of autoimmune disease. Autoimmune disease means when our own immunity system starts affecting our own body. So if regulatory T cells are there, they will prevent such kind of autoimmune diseases. So I hope you have understood this particular concept. Now this is very important, because the function of this is that it will shut down the T cell mediated immunity, and it can help in prevent such kind of autoimmune diseases. That's why this particular discovery is very important. Next article is India and EFTA Trade and Economic Partnership Agreement. Now from this word it is clear that it is a kind of trade agreement. It is a trade agreement. Now you know that why trade agreement is conducted. Trade agreement to reduce the tariff so that we can have the smooth trade between the different countries. Now here there is one term, EFTA. Now we may not be aware about what is EFTA. Let's know first what is EFTA. Before that, let's understand the context why it is in news. The TEPA, that is a Trade and Economic Partnership Agreement between India and European, this is the term, the European Free Trade Association countries, signed on 2024, came into force. Now it came into the force. It was signed in 2024. Now let's understand, it's nothing but the free trade agreement, as I explained. First understand what is EFTA, that is European Free Trade Association. It is nothing but the organization of 4 countries, Norway, Ireland, Liechtenstein, and Switzerland. As you see in the map, this is Norway, you have the here these 2 countries, and here you have the island, right? So these 4 countries have created one free trade association. Since it is a European country, so European Free Trade Association. Now India have agreement with this organization. So India have the agreement of trade agreement with this organization, and that is this particular article. Okay, so what is EFTA? You understood, these are the 4 countries. Please remember this name of 4 countries. As you know, UPSC asks questions on this, which among the following are the members of this EFTA, like that question can be asked. Okay, now what are the key feature? See, the common feature of any free trade agreement or any kind of trade agreement, you know, there will be the reduction in the tariff, there will be the more exchange of goods and people. These all things are common feature, right? But this particular agreement have very unique feature, because of it includes legally binding commitment. Generally free trade agreements are not legally binding, but this is the first time I mean the trade agreements in there is not legally binding investment targets and the job creation, but this is the agreement which creates legally binding commitment from EFTA countries to invest $100 billion in India over next 15 years. This is very important point. Okay, and second is that to create 1 million direct jobs in India during the same period. This is also very important. Now next is that, as I said, it is a trade agreement, so definitely there will be increased market access and tariff concession. Market access means what? That means now there will be less tariffs and access to their market restriction will be less, so that is called as the market access. This percentage are not important, how much they have opened, that much detailing is not required. Now India offers this much opening up and those all things, but this is important to understand from means point of view. See, there are certain sector in India which cannot be opened for the foreign countries, especially for the European, US, such kind of advanced country. Why? Because in sectors like agriculture, dairy, coal, and these kind of agricultural products, if we open up, our farmers may not be able to compete the farmer of US farmers, because they are using the advanced technology, they are highly subsidized, and they are using big machineries and everything, so their productivity will be more compared to the India. If their product starts coming into the India, then the consumers will start purchasing their product and our farmers won't be able to sell their products, right? That's why India keeps certain sectors away from such free trade agreement, and that's why they have given the exclusion list. Okay, next is the service sector. Similarly, 105 service sector has been opened up and those all things. Here very important is the mutual recognition agreement. Sometimes UPSC gives this kind of term. MRA was frequently seen in the news, is related to which among the following, like that they can keep. So remember, mutual recognition agreement means what? See, suppose two countries are there, India, one is the India and second is the US, let's say, right? Now there are some professionals from India, let's say the doctor. This doctor have graduated in India, that is through our course, our academies and the institution. If this doctor goes to US and tries to practice in the US, will that degree will be accepted in the US or not? So when the countries sign this kind of agreement, that is a mutual recognition agreement, basically they recognize each other's degrees, professional, especially in the professional fields like the nursing, chartered accountancy, architecture, etc. That helps in the flow of professionals from one country to another. So mutual recognition, both countries recognize each other countries' professional degrees and the qualification, that is mutual recognition agreement. Then the IPR that has made it more strict, so that there won't be theft of intellectual property rights. What are these intellectual property rights? These are nothing but the rights given to the creation of the mind, any innovation which is protected. Here very important concept is the evergreening, patent evergreening, because India have kept a certain flexibility. See what happens when IPR, that is the patent, under the IPR, if patent is given, suppose there is one drug which is being invented, which is very important for the public health, for example corona drug or something is there. Now companies, what they do, they get the patent by registering this drug. Now when they have the patent, only this company A who have invented this particular drug will be able to produce it. Now the problem arises here is that because of only one company is producing it, the cost of this product will be very high, so it will be very costly for the normal consumers. So what government does here, they can make the provision, that this patent will be allowed to, this particular drug will be allowed to other companies B, C, D or other companies to manufacture in public interest, because it is a very emergency situation, that's why we are allowing. This kind of concept is called as the compulsory licensing. Okay, the second concept is the evergreening of patent. Means what? Sometimes what happens is that this company get the patent for certain time, let's say the 15 years. After 15 years, what this company A will do, they will change the small change in their composition of this drug and they will try to re-patent it, again patent it. So again they will have 15 years. You're getting? Simple is that A company invented one drug, they got the patent. Now this patent they got for 15 years. Now let's say 15 years is over. Now every company can make it because patent is not there. What this company will become, they will become smart now. What they will become, they will do, they will change certain thing in the older composition, but that doesn't have much impact on the health, but still they will small change and they'll say now no, we have brought a new drug, so let give us another patent for 15 years. This is called as the evergreening of patenting. This is kept outside such kind of IPR, so that companies won't be allowed to do the evergreening, right? So this is about the evergreening of patent. So this was the article related to the India and EFTA agreement, trade agreement. Next article is the primary markets in India. See, India's capital market. See, first let's understand what is this primary market and secondary market means. See, there are two types of markets: primary market, secondary market. We are talking about the capital market. Okay, capital market means where shares and the securities are traded. Primary market is the marketplace where first time any security is released. Suppose there is one company A, they want to have the investment of 100 crore, but they have just 50 crore with them. So what they will do, they will release the share of 50 crore. When this company is directly releasing it and directly bought by some investors, this is called as the primary market. Now suppose a person P have purchased the share 5 share, but now this person P doesn't want to keep this share anymore. So where this person P will sell those 5 share, this person will go to secondary market, which is also called as the share market. There this person can sell this 5 share of company A and get their money back, right? So this is the primary market where first time sold, secondary market where trading of already sold shares are done. Okay, so that is the primary market and secondary market. Why it is in news? It is in news because this is very unusual thing is happening. Primary market is unusually active, that is it's growing. Primary market is buoyant, it is growing. However, the secondary market is almost stagnant. Generally it doesn't happen, because as you see in here, right, if primary market is growing, secondary market usually grows with it, because if the shares are released in the primary market, people will sell that in the secondary market. So both grow hand in hand, but now it is happening something unusual. Primary market is growing, but the secondary market is stagnant. Okay, now what is primary market? I just now explained, so it must be clear. The key components of primary market, like how the primary market works, how the first time the share is sold. First term is the initial public offering. This is nothing but when the first time offered, public offering to the public, what shares are offered to the public, that is called as the initial public offering. Second is the follow on public offering. Once it is offered already, but now company want to generate more revenue, so they will offer again new shares, so that is called as the follow on. You know that is today only if you watch the cricket, India gave West Indies follow on, that is basically give more. So similar only, like give more share. The next is the offer for sale. Suppose this person P have purchased this share, right? This person, when they sell this share, it's not like that money goes back to the company. It doesn't go to the company. It is the money of this person P only. So that is called as the offer for sale. The proceeds from the sale of the share go to the existing shareholder. That means if this person P is selling its share, that money will not go to the A, it will be kept by P. That is called as the offer for sale. It helps in the monetizing basically. Next concept is the places in the news. Here we will discuss about the Bagram Air Base. See, recently what has happened is that if you remember in 2021, US exited from the Afghanistan. They started exiting Afghanistan. They left Afghanistan. When the US was there in the Afghanistan, there was one place called as the Bagram Air Base where they used to keep as air base from where they used to operate. Now, why this Bagram airbase is important and now why it is in news? It is in news because US wants to return back to this particular airbase. And the question is why they want to come back to this particular place. It is because of the strategic location of this place. See this. This is Afghanistan. Here you have Iran, Pakistan bordering country, China, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan. Here you have Afghanistan. Within Afghanistan, this is the Bagram airbase in this particular point. Now, if you see this place, you see here more clearly, this is the place. Here you have the Afghanistan. In this particular place, it is there. This is, first of all, understand this. This location is very, very high altitude location. It is at the above level. And this place is known as the Pamir Knot, if you have covered in the geography. This is at the high level. And from here, you can see that if US have control over this now, they can have control over the Pakistan in this disputed this region, which is very, very unstable, right? Tribal region, this particular region, Balochistan and this region. They can have the control over China. Here they have the Xinjiang province, which is known that China have the they have persecution over the Xinjiang Muslim minorities. They can have the control over Russian side also. I mean they can also have the control over Afghanistan, terrorism control. So it is a very, very strategic location, right? So that's why US wants this particular place back. Okay, so this is about this article. Some other facts are there, but what is most important is that the UPSC gives the match the following, right? So they can give the Bagram, and they can give here Iran, and they can give some other place, and then Afghanistan. So they can ask in the match the following. Please remember this. And yeah, as I explained, this is a military and logistic hub, and terrorist groups can be controlled from here. What is the India's interest here? This is very important. See, earlier when US was there in the Afghanistan, that time India supported. Why? India thought that it helped in the curbing the terrorism, right? Terrorism. So that's why India helped. Also, it helps in the reducing the influence of China. So India, as you know, that counters China. So if US is there in Afghanistan, it keeps China under tow, right? So that was the thing. Now if US returns, the problem here for India is that, as you see recently, US is going close to Pakistan. Now the threat is that if US is returning, Islamabad, that is a Pakistan, may get the renewed ground there. That is, they may get new opportunities there. That is not in the interest of India, right? So it can reduce India's influence in the Afghanistan also. So that way, this particular article is strategically important. Location is important from UPSC prelims point of view. From mains point of view, why this particular place is important, why US wants, and what is the India's interest, that we discuss. So today we have discussed very, very important articles related to the oral tradition, conservation. We have discussed also after this we have discussed about the Pradhan Mantri Krishi Dhan Dhaanya Krishi Yojana, about the agriculture related topic. We have also discussed about the T cell related to the Nobel Prize and the immunity. We have discussed about the EFTA and India agreement. We discussed about the one important concept related to economy, that is the primary market and its tool. And lastly, we discussed about one place from both prelims and the mains point of view. This was the discussion. Please, if you like this video, please like it, and in the comment box give your suggestion how we can improve in better way, how more we can improve. Share with the serious aspirants who are preparing for this UPSC exam, and if they are they can get some help from this particular video, it will be very helpful. And give your comments, that I will definitely wait for your feedback on this particular initiative. The video, the PDF of this particular document you can get in the Telegram channel of Sarat Chandra IAS Academy. In the link will be on the description. You can get this PDF. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.